What's up, guys? I'm Arden Jones, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live today.
What's up, Arden? Congratulations with the new EP. You are releasing music left and right. I don't know how you're able to write so much great music and release it so quickly the way that you're doing it right now. Age Tape 2 is another incredible release from you. And, I want to dive in and talk about these 3 tracks that you created for this EP. How do you continue to still give us fresh content, even though you're trying to release more consistently?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. And it's honestly just been super fun. But I think it's just consistency and working on music every single day. I'm making songs constantly, trying different things, seeing what works, what doesn't. And then, sometimes I'll write a song in a day and just be like, hey, this isn't it, and then put it down and come back to it the next day, or maybe try something new, So I think it's kind of just swinging as many times as you can, and then when you get it right, and you're like, hey, I want to dive into this and put real effort and time into this one, So that's kind of how these EPs come together. It's just the best of my daily work, and the best of that all coming into 3 tracks that I'm really proud of and excited to show people, So
one thing that catches my attention from the beginning of each track is that your wordplay and your cadence is just incredible. How did you learn to, first of all, have that kind of wordplay? And secondly, how did you figure out what cadences you would be using as your music, as your sound?
Totally. Well, wordplay wise, I think it was just looking up to lyricists, Mac Miller's a big one. Dominic Fike, Bright Eyes were an old, I'm sure you've heard of them, Connor Oberst. He's one of my favorite lyricists, And then cadence was kind of, again, just swinging and seeing what I could get behind and what felt right, over time. In the beginning, I was 14, 15 years old, trying to be just solely a rapper. I wasn't doing any alternative stuff, and I was freestyling on beats in the car with my friends. And then with my sound now, I think it just took time to kind of develop and figure out what I felt was really me, and what I wanted to hear on a track. Cadence wise, and so I've been pretty happy with what I've the middle ground I've found, and that's been fun to kind of mess around with.
During that recording process, are you finding these pockets to be just a natural progression as you're recording these lyrics, or are you trying to perfectly look for the right pockets for the right lyrics?
It's definitely more the first, messing around and super loose about it, and kind of just having stuff come to me and having fun with it, because I really do make the best music when I'm having a great time, with my boys in the studio or whatever, and we're just messing around. So it's usually pretty relaxed.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to production, I noticed that there's different names under producer. So are you trying to work with different people throughout each project, just to kind of test out the waters with various producers and to see what they can bring to the table for you as well?
Totally. Yeah. So all of last year, all of 2021, I was just working. I was going to the studio with producers, and I was so lucky to find these amazing producers left and right. They're just so sick. Jesse Mason, Grant Slayer, Peter Fenn, so many more, Jason Sweeto. And I get in the studio with them, and where I'm at as a writer and as a songwriter and lyricist and things, I'm definitely not there production wise. So it's it's cool to link up with them and have them be so talented, and then we come together, and a lot of these records come out of those sessions, you know.
Are you looking forward to kind of learning the production side to be able to just produce your own material as well, or do you want to just focus on being the artist?
Totally, yeah. I've actually produced a few records this week that I'm kind of starting to be happy with. I'm kind of getting there, you know. It takes a long time, and luckily I can play guitar and piano and a couple other instruments, so that's a good beginning. But I've been trying to get good at production. It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. Now I love the balance that you have with some rapping, some fast talking, and obviously some singing throughout these tracks. How did you learn to balance these various ways of singing, and how did you learn to sing as well?
Yeah, funny. I think singing just came from singing by myself all the time. I was singing along to other songs in the car or at home in my room and things like that, you know. Um, I really think that's the best way to get comfortable singing. And I think a lot of people can sing better than they, admit. And they could, if they really let something out, is belt, it could work out better than they expect. So, yeah, it was just like getting comfortable with singing and doing it because I was like, man, I need this hook, and I don't want to find anybody else to do it, so I'm gonna do it, you know. Because it was like it'll be in my head, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna sing it, whatever. And that was in the very beginning, because like I said, I was mostly just rapping when I was 15 and 16. And then yeah, it just developed to what we have today.
Now you mentioned belting, and that's one of the things that drew my attention. I think it was on the other side where you did a lot of belting. And you sound incredible when you're doing the belts. Belts are not easy, even though people think it's just, yeah, you just yell it or say it louder, but it's not easy to do. How did you, I mean, what kind of challenges did you find yourself facing in order to get to what we're listening to today?
Totally. Yeah, just not sounding full as a singer and all of those were all challenges. Like, just there's a lot that goes into technical singing, you know, and I definitely kind of guerrillaed my way through. I just like forced it a little bit, you know, but it works and it feels good. Like the other side, I was just having a great time in the studio with Dosey and Josh Apple, and they're two of my good friends, and we were just messing around, and then the woes and the belting was kind of just like a spur of the moment thing, you know, and then we were like, whoa, that feels crazy, and then we like built it out with harmonies and things, but it was just fun at first, and then it was like, whoa, this could actually work, but it's different, you know, so we were a little tentative, but it turned out get sick.
But I think that's the song that sticks out to me the most. During these three tracks, where do you feel like you were challenged the most? Which song was almost impossible to finalize?
Man, Run Wild was really hard because I just wanted to make sure that if I was going to do verses like that they worked, you know, and were on par with everything else, even though they're much different. So that was definitely hard to finalize and get everything on time and go back in on and things. So got it done though.
Yeah, I mean, sounds great. It sounds great. Now, I still can't believe you're going to try and do this for the rest of 2022. I mean, that's an incredible, that's a great challenge because it's going to help you become a better songwriter, but at the same time, a better vocalist and artist. So what is your process for this? Are you writing every single day, or are you setting aside 1 week out of the month where you're like fully focused on these three tracks that you're going to be releasing every first Thursday of the month for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so it's kind of a mix of both. I'll write for fun anyways. You know, just day to day, and then I have a lot of songs I'm already working on. And for tape three for example, I'm just kind of getting everything figured out and making sure it's exactly how I want it to be right now, you know. And then I have ideas for future tapes as well that are just coming through. So it's kind of a consistent thought process, and I don't want to give away too much, but it's feeling good. And like as long as I consistently work the way I have been for this year, I think we'll be fine. And I think it's going to be really fun to drop so much music, you know.
Are these going to be like 12 EPs that you'll be releasing, or at the end of the year, will this be considered like a full body of work, like one album?
I think it'll be a mix of both. And that'll be kind of up to people, but I'd love to throw all the tapes together just because it's like a 2022. This is what I was on.
Yeah.
But yeah, technically they're 3-song projects, and they're even listed as like singles. You know, you can listen to them however you want. It's kind of you can listen all the way through and or just choose a song or whatever. I think it's really exciting because, you know, it's not a single a month. It's 3 songs a month, so there's options.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like it's allowing you the opportunity to be heard in more ways than just here's my EP, listen to it. So that's awesome. I mean, you're young and you're like already like making a great like business, I guess, like business plan for your music. So congrats on that.
I appreciate it.
And lastly, with these 3 songs, what are you most proud of with this EP, tape 2?
I'm most proud of the verse in The Other Side. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But the verse after the hook, I was super proud of when I wrote that. Yeah, it's just, you know, sometimes you'll write something that just feels really good, and maybe it's even like a little personal, and then you're like, wow, I'm glad that exists, and I'm glad it's out on Spotify because now I'm just gonna have it forever, you know, to go back and listen to. So
yeah, awesome, man. Well, congratulations with this EP. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you, and obviously you and I will probably be connecting again sometime soon. So thank you for taking the time to do this, and congratulations, man.
Yo, I really appreciate it. Thank you.